Good evening and welcome to City Wrap Ramadan. My name is Ilham Al-Hamadi. On tonight's show, we're going to be exploring Islamic architecture. Plus, we'll be delving into an international cuisine that'll make your mouth water. And we'll be wrapping things up with our daily Ramadan recipes, during which we'll be giving you the chance to cook along with us from the comfort of your home. All that and more in a little while, including our daily competition. Here's a quick preview of what's in store for today's prizes. Sally Hansen products, Lady Million Absolutely Gold perfume, a Link PA for 10 hours, a bourgeois bag worth 1,000 dirhams, voucher for Zen Spa at the Radisson Blu, iftar voucher from the Address Hotels, and dinner vouchers for Wafi restaurants. Stay tuned to find out how you can take home all these gifts. Now, Dubai is a melting pot of cultures, and it is very evident in the food we eat. Most of us have eaten and cooked food we might not even have heard of in our home countries. Today, we profile a best-selling cookery book that compiles the best recipes from over 30 countries. But there is a difference. It is a book of family recipes, of food actually cooked in the homes of students at one of Dubai's international schools. Our resident reporter, Priyanka Dutt, meets the authors to find out how the idea of the book struck them and how it's being used to help underprivileged students to attend school.
A multicultural school, 3 mums who love to cook, and a year-long search for the best recipes from around the world. What could these 3 things have in common? Dubai is home to more than 200 nationalities, and nowhere is that more obvious than at school on the lunch table, where students bring home-cooked lunch from every part of the world. Today we meet 3 parents who take the very essence of this idea and turn it around for a good cause. The result? From our world to your plate. A cookbook with a difference, compiled by 3 friends, Maria, Galia and Radia. A book of over 160 recipes from more than 30 countries, contributed by parents of students at the Jumeirah Baccalaureate School.
Yes, the school community is extremely varied, children from all over the world. We have a very active and very close-knit PFA, and that PFA were extremely supportive. Once we put out the idea and the call out for recipes, they flooded in. We specifically requested family recipes, and when you read through the book, you can see that's really evident. These are recipes that people cook for their family, weeknights, special meals. It's a wonderful achievement and a great variety of recipes.
And then came the bigger challenge of converting homegrown recipes, often cooked by instinct, into professional recipes for a cookbook, of turning instructions like a pinch of salt or a dash of lime into metric units that can be understood by even the most amateur cook reading the book. And for this, the 3 ladies personally tried out each and every recipe in their own kitchen, often more than once.
Then the cooking started, the main work started. It was cooking the recipes, trying to make sure everything was okay, going back to the contributors to check if there is an ingredient missing. Food styling was a lot of fun, something none of us has ever done. So we would talk about it the night before, get the props, sometimes have to shop for the props. We borrowed props from friends. And then the actual shoot, we would shoot for 5-6 hours. It was a lot of fun. It was, I think, something we'll all remember.
And while the end product is a best-selling cookbook, the first print of which is already sold out, it's also an interesting, if inadvertent, sociological study on the origin of food and cooking.
And then we were finding, as we were gathering the recipes, how much overlay there is in the world. We were receiving recipes, for example, a banana cake. Where in the world does a banana cake originate from? So we were finding we're so interconnected in our food and across the world. It really brought home the community aspect of the school and of just how connected the world is through food.
The challenge was to do things a different way, that the way I would usually do. Normally I would put oil, onions and then the meat. Now I ended up putting sugar first, then the chicken. So it's a different way of cooking. That was for the Caribbean chicken. Oh, but now I'm cooking and serving Caribbean chicken for my children. They like it. So it just opened windows on other people's kitchen, and this is what I loved about the book. I also ended up buying spices that I wouldn't have used normally. It was really, really an interesting project.
Since the basis of From Our World to Your Plate came from the community, the authors have used it as a platform to give back to the community as well. All proceeds from the sale of this book will be given to Dubai Cares to assist in the education of underprivileged children.
So the idea was to give back. We are blessed with happy, healthy children, and we wanted to teach them that not everybody is as lucky as they are. We picked Dubai Cares because we felt aligned with their vision. They are a philanthropic organization that provide quality primary education in developing countries. And we just love the idea that because of our book, other children somewhere will benefit, will go to school, it will change their lives. And we just like that. We are a school giving back to another school. It just, you know, felt aligned for us. It was just the right thing to do.
The journey of this book proves that even something as simple as friends sharing recipes can, with a little effort, be used to give back to the community.
Truly inspirational, right? Well, wait till you see this next video that our producers came across while they were surfing the web. In this amazing YouTube video, we see this American man who works for that shop recite a few verses from the Holy Book in clear and understandable Arabic, although he apparently does not speak the language.
حاميم والكتاب المبين إنا جعلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون وإنه في الأم كتاب لدينا لعلي حكيم أفنضرب عنكم الذكر صفحا أن كنتم قوما مسرفين وكم أرسلنا من نبي في الأولين وما يأتيهم من نبي إلا كانوا به يستهزئون صدق الله العظيم وبلغ رسول كريم ونحن على ما قال مولانا ومصطفانا من الشاهدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Share with us some of your interesting videos that you may have come across this holy month. Get in touch with us on Facebook and tell us who or what made you smile during this Ramadan so that we can share your special moments on air. It's time to check out our daily Ramadan calendar filled with local attractions to find out when and where you should be this month. It's time for a quick break, but stay put because coming up, we find out what makes Islamic architecture so unique and important to the region. And start getting your kitchen utensils ready because Ramadan Recipes is coming up next. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan. So, Ramadan is a time of spirituality, but it's also a time to appreciate the rich heritage and history of the region. And one of the most timeless ways that a culture expresses itself is through its art and architecture. Here to tell us more about how Islam is expressed through art is Dr. Mohammed Al-Kashif, a professor at Al Husn University Abu Dhabi and one of the speakers of this year's Ramadan Culture Talks taking place at Manarat Al-Sadiyat. Welcome to the show, Dr. Mohammed.
Thank you so much.
So Dr. Mohammed, you recently spoke about Islamic architecture at the Ramadan Culture Talks at Manarat Al-Sadiyat. Now, for people who don't know, tell us a little bit about Islamic architecture and how do you define it?
Islamic architecture is a very diverse form of architecture. It started in the Arabian Peninsula, actually. Very simple starts in the house of the Prophet or the mosques that were built. And then Islam actually went and opened so many regions across the entire world, from Iran and India in the east till actually North Africa and the Spain in the West, and they established a civilization in all these places. In all these places, Islam benefited from previous cultures and civilizations. It allowed the people and the cultures in these countries actually to evolve, to develop a unique form of architecture, a unique form of Islamic architecture that does not actually cancel or their past and their culture, but integrate it with a very articulate and very unique form of architecture that became so Islamic. You see a building in Iran and it's Islamic, and it looks different from a building in Spain or Al-Andalus. You see a building in North Africa and you say Islamic architecture. And it's different from buildings in Syria or Sham.
So how could you, what are some of the characteristics of Islamic architecture? How can you tell the difference?
The most popular characteristics of Islamic architecture is the use of certain features like domes, arches, and actually many other elements that have come to represent Islamic architecture. It's a very rich form of architecture that cares about the environment, that looks at actually all the decorative elements that create, that enhance people's sense of self and allow them to represent what they think, who they are. So mainly the domes, the minaret, the arches, the rich design, rich facades, and the use of calligraphy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Calligraphy has become a renowned form of art in Islamic architecture, because of course Islam does not allow us to make human or animal figures. So geometric designs, decorative designs and calligraphy, the writing of Quran in different forms, has become the hallmark of Islamic architecture.
Now, has Islamic architecture evolved over the years, and has calligraphy evolved along with it, and how?
Absolutely. I mean, in the early Islamic architecture examples, you see what we call Kufic writing, which actually the type of writing that existed at the time. Over time, they developed the Naskhi writing. And then in places like Turkey, they developed special kinds of writing in the form of the Tugra, or the signature of the king of. So the Islamic calligraphy developed, and the geometry itself developed in so many ways. They developed actually another art form that we call stalactites or muqarnasat. Muqarnasat has become actually one of the most innovative features of Islamic architecture, which are used structurally as well as decoratively in the entrances of mosques, and actually in the areas where they support domes, and in many other areas, in minarets.
What are some of the places where people can see and experience all these types of Islamic architecture and calligraphy in the UAE?
In the UAE, I would think the best place is Sheikh Zaid Mosque. Sheikh Zaid Mosque actually is an architectural marvel. It managed to combine many Islamic architecture styles into one building that actually brings the East and the West together, creating a really wonderful piece of architecture. So the domes to some extent resemble domes from India and the East, while many of the arches represent actually continuity of the arch form of the Andalus. And you have the minarets actually from the Arab regions. So, I mean, like the role that the UAE plays in the Arab world, being actually a host for so many cultures.
Different cultures,
It's a culture that sees itself as a uniting force in the Arab world. And I think Sheikh Zaid Mosque interpreted this kind of culture in the design and in every architectural detail. So I would highly recommend Sheikh Zaid Mosque as a place where people can experience Islamic architecture at its best.
Definitely is. It is a beautiful mosque, and there's definitely lots to see. Well, thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you so much.
Well, the next Ramadan Culture Talks takes place on the 22nd of July on Monday, so make sure you get down there. So, it's that time of the night when we give you the chance to win thousands of dirhams worth of prizes. Up for grabs today is Sally Hansen products, Lady Million Absolutely Gold perfume, a Link PA for 10 hours, a Bourgeois bag worth 1,000 dirhams, voucher for Spa Zen at Radisson Blu, iftar vouchers from the Address Hotels, and dinner voucher for Wafi restaurants. For your chance to win, visit facebook.com/CityWrap and answer the following question. What is the name of the meal consumed each day at dawn during Ramadan? A. Suhoor, B. Iftar, or C. Fajr? We'll be announcing tonight's winner on our Facebook page on Monday, so make sure you check in with us to see if you're the lucky winner. It's time for a short break. We'll be back with our popular Ramadan recipes in just a few minutes to learn how to whip up a special healthy Ramadan meal with none other than Chef Samir Miglani from the Movenpick. See you in a few. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan. It's a pleasure to have Chef Samir Miglani back in the kitchen, who will be cooking something healthy for us today. Right, Chef?
That's right, that's right. We're doing something called the Sehatmand Tarkari. Sehatmand is healthy and Tarkari is vegetables.
Okay.
So today we are doing a medley of vegetables quickly tossed as the healthy food for the viewers.
Lovely. Are we using olive oil today, Chef?
Absolutely. This time I made it a point. It's not only for the camera, but also in the pan already before you were on the set. There's olive oil in the pan. And the trick about olive oil, having said that, is to get the best flavor of olive oil, one must smoke it and cool it down. So that gives out the best flavor in the olive oils.
Okay.
Just a small tip. So essentially the ingredients of the recipe of the Sehatmand Tarkari are veggies, you know, which could range from spinach, from carrots, snow peas, peppers, squash, mushrooms, broccoli, tomatoes. It's you know, just the gifts of Mother Nature, which we're quickly tossing up in an Indian style. And taking cue from some of the best things like the Islamic architecture, which is the Taj Mahal in India.
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
So we thought we should do something as good as what was done a few centuries back.
You're going to compare this to Taj Mahal.
So quite close in terms of its beauty and resilience over the last few years. So starting with the olive oil, we've got the cumin seeds, which we've got inside there.
Okay.
After that, we're going to be adding the onions, the chopped onions there, which
and
is
they
like
need to be chopped.
Right, finely.
Okay, finely.
So good. You took your tips from the last show.
Of course,
nice.
of course. I was paying attention, Chef.
Absolutely, I'm impressed to say the least. And so once we're sorting off the onions, we can also add the tomatoes. I don't want to run short of time this time, so I'm just going to do a quick show. The tomatoes,
clock is definitely ticking.
Yeah. Once the tomatoes getting cooked. In fact, this is all a part of the new initiative by Movenpick Hotels and Resorts called Go Healthy.
Okay.
Where we are not only preparing delicious food, but also nutritious food for our guests. So all over in the Middle East, the 26 Movenpick hotels that we have are now offering a Go Healthy menu.
Why is that?
And
why are you guys going healthy?
I think it's obviously because at this time, because of the kind of diseases that are happening, we think it is our responsibility as a CSR, as corporate social responsibility as well, to give our guests a healthy option.
Okay.
And that's what we are doing.
Lovely.
So we've got the tomatoes in, we've got the onions in, we've got we've got the turmeric powder. Yeah. A little bit of the turmeric powder, a little bit of the coriander powder.
Half a teaspoon each. I see
half teaspoon, yeah.
Literally throwing into the pan.
Absolutely. And so there goes the salt. And then at this stage goes the ginger garlic paste.
Okay, that's the 40-60 ratio.
Correct.
You see?
Oh my God.
There you go. I'm
You're
a
one of
chef.
the best students I ever had.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's really good. That's really. Okay, so now once the masala is getting cooked, we've got the vegetables which are being blanched. Now, a little tip I'd like to share about broccoli, which is very healthy. The best way, it's a great detox as well, but the best way to do broccoli, instead of blanching it in hot water, if you cut the broccoli florets and leave them for a few minutes raw just like that, and then you steam them for exactly 5 minutes. That leaves the detox nature of the broccoli in it as the best, instead of blanching it in hot water and then throwing off the water. So steaming broccoli for 5 minutes after having cut the florets works very well.
Very nutritious. Huh?
Yeah.
Chef, can you add in any other vegetables, or are these the ones that you suggest for this recipe?
Not at all. In
Carrots, broccoli.
In fact, you can just go into, you can use corn, you can use green peas, you can use cherry tomatoes, anything that you really enjoy as vegetables, you know, beetroot, cabbage, whatever that you really enjoy, that I think comes good as a part of the thing. Now, at this stage, once we've added the masalas, we're going to be adding off the peppers, which take actually the longer time to cook. So just in a manner that these get cooked quickly.
Okay, chef, 4 minutes to plate.
Right, so the peppers go in. Always remember that fresh herbs play a very important role even during cooking. So we have some Indian cilantro or coriander.
Yeah.
At this stage, if you add it on, it gives a good flavor, although at the end, it also helps to add some garnish and color to the dish. So we've got the peppers which have gone in. We've got the marrow, which is not blanched, just cut into losange or diamonds, which
That
is
would
also
take a
very
little
good
while
for
to,
minestrone. Absolutely, that takes a little while
would
to
take
get cooked there.
Okay.
So if you decide to go into a move and pick hotel in Dubai, Elan, and you ask for a go healthy menu, you will be pleasantly surprised.
What sort of cuisines have been incorporated in this menu?
Actually, it's a very good mix of contemporary, modern European cuisine, Indian, Southeast Asian. So the menu varies really to all palates. So, and if you really want to feel healthy during this time of Ramadan, that's one thing you could do. But the other thing you could do is have cereals which are complex carbohydrates. Without making it too complex, it's like quinoa, like barley, these things which take a longer time to get digested. So throughout the day, the body kind of keeps getting energy from them.
So you've replaced some of the ingredients from your
regular diet into these more complex carbohydrates.
Lovely.
And don't miss suhoor. That's the one tip that I learned. Very, very important.
What do you recommend for suhoor, Chef Samir?
I think, again, suhoor, any kind of egg white is very good. Egg white omelets and, you know, of course, dates and all these things kind of work very well.
Is it your tip or a go healthy menu?
My tip.
Okay.
My tip. So here goes the mushrooms on that note. Yeah, again, you can have all kinds of mushrooms. You can have oyster
Whatever.
mushrooms. You can have morels or whatever else that you like. The broccoli goes in as well.
What's this paste?
Now this is actually a tomato onion masala, which we made using this, but that's just a ready-made thing for the viewers to see.
Okay, so that's what's going to look like. Okay, Chef, you got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Clock is ticking.
Absolutely. A bit of the green peas, if you like, in a green jug, if that helps. And a bit
Makes
of
it healthier. You go green.
Yeah, a bit of the cherry tomatoes, you know.
It's a very colorful dish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know that it's like a whole meal in itself, you know. So that works well. And then it's got a bit of fenugreek to finish it off in the last.
Okay.
Salt to taste, and then spiked up with a bit of acid, which is the lemon juice.
Okay.
Which is a great thing. Asparagus, which is already blanched, which goes into the dish.
Looks easy. You just keep throwing things into the pan.
Absolutely.
One after the other. When are you going to throw this in?
Actually, that's the last thing. Spinach gets wilted very quickly.
Okay.
So the important part is to cook the spinach in for a very little time in the last, and then you're almost done with the dish.
Chef?
Right. And then the last is the ginger julienne.
Okay.
And if you like it spicy,
to that.
you can add a bit of the chili.
Definitely.
Is there anything that I did not use on the repertoire on the table? Absolutely, that's it.
See?
Right there.
There you go.
So that's the garnish.
Oh, it's a garnish.
And yeah, that's the garnish. So once we already have a ready-made dish for the show.
Magic.
Yeah. So that's how essentially your dish would look with the broccoli, the snow peas, the carrots, and the masala. And then you've got a bit of the leaves, which you, if you like, again, they're very good. Dress them up a little bit.
What leaves
and then
are these?
These are rocket leaves.
Oh, rocket leaves.
Yeah. And then they go off very well. So it's like a warm starter or a warm main course, however you'd like to have it. And it works very well during the month of Ramadan. So go healthy at Move and Pick.
Lovely. Definitely go healthy. It looks amazing. And I'm sure the kids would like to eat it too because it's so colorful.
Correct. That's that's nice. Also for the kids, because I think cherry tomatoes and broccoli, like that's my daughter's favorite, and she can just have it just plain. So you rightly pointed out that it's helped a lot.
Thank you so much once again for being with us. It's always so much fun to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. That's a wrap tonight. We're back tomorrow night with why hygiene should be on top of your priority list when dining out this Ramadan. Plus a snapshot of the holy month from across the globe. Have a wonderful evening with your families. Good night.